Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Transformation Tuesday, January 3rd, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Now, we premiered our season 17 episode yesterday, which is up right now. We interviewed Sean Carter Peterson, and he had his wife, Cy Smith, here, who is an amazing neo soul music legend. So make sure you guys go and check that interview out. Joining me today, we have one of the most sexiest guests ever, Fashion Dolls, and I'm super excited to have him here. Make sure you guys go and check out the dress that I'm wearing today. It is definitely lit. I hope you guys like it. We have recording artist, model, and sex symbol Thailand, ladies and gentlemen, will be joining me today. Hey, brother. Hi, everyone. Hi, Fashion Dolls. I hope you guys are doing awesome. I'm super excited. This is my second episode. You guys are not only getting one show today, but you guys are getting two shows today. And I'm super excited for our first special guest. Before we get to Express Words, who is a life coach, make sure you guys head on over and subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. So without further ado, let's welcome one of the most sexiest black men I've ever seen here on the gram, Thailand, ladies and gentlemen. Hello,
Hey,
hello.
what's up?
Welcome to the Dollhouse, love. How are you?
How you doing?
Wonderful.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, cool,
Can you
cool.
hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Perfect.
I just,
All
I
right.
literally just came in, as you can
From the
tell.
gym.
I,
All right. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I said I literally just came in from working out, like from the gym and stuff, trying to prep for the week and stuff. So yeah, I'm just,
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Well, welcome here and Happy New Year. We are now officially in 2023. We made it.
we
So,
made
yes, we
it.
kicked off the new year because we chatted about it and I sent you Happy New Year and everything. So, what is something that you're looking forward to for this year?
Work. It's a lot of work, a lot. I already have a lot already planned and already I just know 23 is the year that I come out in so many ways. It's like 23. If you really want to know, like 2020 was a year that I had to like really like acknowledge things that was going on with myself. The next year, it was really just learning who I was. I felt like 22 was all about relationships and learning the relationships that I'm in. And now in 23, I'm embodying everything like that I've learned thus far. So now I feel like God is like, you ready? Now work. So, so
Right. And you put it in there. You definitely have been putting in the work, and we can see that, ladies and gentlemen. So let's kick it off. Did I pronounce your name right? Let me know if I'm wrong, if I butchered the name Thailand right.
yep, like the country.
All right. All right. So let's get right into it. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Thailand. Where are you from? Because you are a fresh new face. And I was scrolling down Instagram and I was looking through the photography because I'm a fashion girl, as you guys can tell. And I seen all of these handsome, gorgeous black men. Ian do photography. Shout outs to him. And I seen your photography, your photos on there. And I said, oh my God, I got to have him on the show, kicking off the new season because this is all fresh new faces, you guys. You're going to see all fresh new faces throughout the week. I launched my season 17 episode yesterday with Sean Carter Peterson, and you're my second episode for today, kicking it off this week, the first week. So tell us, how did you get your start into modeling? And not only are you a model and artist, but you're also a personal trainer and a sex coach as well too, sexual health coach as well too. You give people tips on how to stay healthy during intercourse. So tell us a little bit about that. How did you get your start into the music industry and modeling as well?
Okay. Well, I'm originally from Lansing, Michigan. A lot of people when they think of Michigan, they think of Detroit or they think of Flint, you know. But now Lansing is about to be on the map because a lot of people from Detroit and Flint is moving to Lansing and heating it up and Whew, okay, it was crazy, but from what I've seen thus far. But I'm originally from there. I started singing since I was like little, like so I was a kid. You know, my grandmother, she was a choir director, and so she always had us in choir singing, even if we didn't want to. She would sit there beat us. You know what I'm saying? That time period. You know what I'm saying? She also used to direct people like Maddie Mars Clark and Aretha Franklin and trying to think of Shirley Caesar, people like that. So I've had music in my blood, you know, since I was young, and I've actually been performing since I was about like 5. You know what I'm saying? Um, I got into what really pushed me to pursue it is I was going to Lansing Community College, and I joined. I'm like classically trained as a singer, but I was classically trained in like classical music and jazz. So like that's more so my background, and it just pushed me because I just love doing this. It's just literally one of them things to where like I've always been doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a part of me now. The whole thing with getting into modeling really didn't come till I moved to New York. I mean, I took some photos and stuff while I was still living in Lansing, but once I moved here, it was different. I didn't know that people looked at me like that. So like even the introduction that you gave me, I'm like, "What's up, Jim? What's up, Jimbo?" He done drew me so many. Even with him, like he's drawn me so many times, and it'd be so crazy to me. Like when people do that, you know, I'm like, "Yo, you." It just taught me to look at myself a little different. It's like, okay, people actually they fuck with you, Ty. They fuck with you, you know. So I didn't know that until I moved here, and when how that even started, I'm trying to think. I was going to this. I was working for this organization called GMAD, Gay Men of African Descent, and I met lots of artists, lots of photographers there. And I think the first shoot that I did, now the photographer he gonna get me because I cannot remember his name right now, but I did this AIDS awareness type of shoot, and it just was on from then. I just learned different stuff.
And it just went on and on and on. Now we'll get to that because I want to ask you this question. Has mom seen the photography and the music and everything? Like you said, you started off in the church, and I can only imagine, like with some artists starting off in the church, how they have to be. Shout outs to the Zay Music. He kind of told his story a little bit about growing up in the church and performing just, gospel music and things like that, and then just kind of going in his own direction. Now for you, has mom seen the music and seen the photography?
Oh yeah, everybody has. My family does, but they don't really fuck with me like that. They disowned me a long time ago.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's
Yeah.
not sorry. What I learned was through the trauma that I've dealt with my family is usually the black sheep is the generational curse breaker. So that's my position in life in this. So I'm the one that opted like so I can't even say that they disown me. I kind of disown them in a way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they didn't. But when it comes to support or anything like that, no, I've dealt with a lot of stuff that a lot of people deal with. You know what I'm saying? I've dealt with people, my family, even trying to come on and they'll see something like this and they'll try to block it, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, they didn't really. I've always been like a rebel in my family. So, being a rebel means that you're gonna constantly get hated on, and I just didn't care.
You know what? And being in this community, the LGBTQ plus community, that's to be expected. My mom and me and my mom are really, really close, and we had a personal conversation during the holidays. And she said, "You know what? There's nothing wrong with being different. There is nothing wrong with being different. I love you, and I don't love you any less. You are my baby. I'm so proud of you. You now have a talk show, which I do, and throughout the holidays." I've still been getting text messages from friends saying, "Girl, you need to expand on this, go on national TV." And I said, no, 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 no. And a friend of mine, a classmate, while I was getting my makeup done for this interview, she said, "Girl, why don't you go to the national, national network like CBS?" I said, "No, no, no, no. I'm happy for the notoriety that I do have, but in this business, getting in this business, I've seen what Selena and Whitney Houston and all of these big artists had to go through with battling demons behind the scenes. People out here who are just trying to latch onto you to get a piece of the pie. And that's what I'm kind of afraid of. So I said, I'm happy right where I'm at. I love the notoriety. I love having big names on my platform. I'm not trying to go any further. Let's put that out there, because I said going in 2023, I'm going to be bolder and I'm going to stand on it. And I stand on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to get on that level, because with that level of notoriety, even on a Beyonce type level, she gets critics left and right. And then her mom, Tina Knowles, said she does not look at any news. She does not look at the media. She doesn't look at anything. So that was my fear. But back to my point here, because I know I drifted
No,
off. But
that's real stuff, though. I understand,
yeah,
especially this day and age where people have constant access to you. I think that was real smart to think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially, and the thing is, it's usually family or people that's closest to you that's doing this. That will be the people that's doing that. You know what I'm saying?
I love what my girl just said. She said, "You are the one to break generational curses." Yes.
Boom,
And I've
boom,
had her on my
exactly.
show before. Flo, we got to get together and do another girl talk for the year, girl. I had her on and we did a girl talk. It was me, her, and my girl Drea. And it was three black women just shooting the breeze. We were just chopping and talking and talking. And that was one point that she brought up as well, too. So I'm glad that she said that, because that happens going into the business. When you get in this business, you're going to have, you guys remember the Mary J. Blige video for Deep Inside, right? Where she's
Yeah.
coming out a big, when she's coming out of a concert, it's like she's on stage,
Oh,
and then she goes
yeah,
past all
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
photographers.
And it was like the demons. That's real stuff.
This is what I was talking about. And I said, no. Even Marvin Gaye, but behind the scenes, being an artist that big, you are battling so much behind the scenes. Not everybody is your friend in this business. Now, there's people that latch onto you to just get a piece of the pie, literally. And I've had to cut people off along the way. But I appreciate all the love. And oh my God, girl, you're doing so well. Speaking of express words, that's one thing he kind of talked about in one of his videos, which we'll get into because he is my next guest coming up at 4. But we're going to talk about that because he's a life coach and he talks about this, which is narcissism. Getting into this business is like, you're battling all of these demons. It's like a two-way mirror. People see the glitz and the glamour of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they think it's just, oh, it's beautiful, This is Instagram. But in real life, when you take all of this off and you're standing right there in the mirror by yourself, it's real.
Exactly.
It's just you. Everything. Y'all know where I'm going with this. And I'll give you an example. Twitch. Jason David Frank.
Yes.
Kurt Cobain.
Right.
Phyllis Hyman.
Williams.
You never know what a person could be battling behind the scenes. And even Taraji P. Henson just said, she said, I don't feel, if you guys checked out her most recent interview she did with Angie Martinez, she said, I don't feel the happiest I feel. And that's perfectly normal. That's perfectly human. Yes, Robin Williams. Yes, the most amazing. He was a comedy icon and genius when it came to comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And we never knew what he battled behind the scenes. Because people see all of this. They see, oh, she's a beautiful woman. He's a handsome looking guy. Oh my God, we could have never expected them to go through this. But yeah, when all is said and done, and I'm logged off from doing this platform because I do it 5 days a week, which can be totally exhausting. And I know everybody gets the notifications for when I jump on, and it's just like they don't see me on. It's because no, I literally have to take a break for myself, and it becomes overwhelming. But I'm gonna go back to the point we were talking about earlier. Growing up in the church, being in the church saying, oh, you're gonna perform just gospel music, being in that one box where it's just like, no, I'm gonna shell out, I'm gonna break out. And that's what happened with so many artists. And I'll give you an example. Toni Braxton, her mom, Miss Evelyn, was by the book. We know Miss Evelyn didn't play. She wanted them singing strictly gospel. The Pointer Sisters is another one. They said, and I think it was Ruth Pointer, in the interview, that their mom wouldn't allow them to listen to what they would call secular music or Elvis, anything like that. So they would literally have to go sneak and listen to the records because their mom forbid them to listen to that music. But if they didn't listen to that music, they would not have the success that they would have today. Toni Braxton, Grammy Award-winning singer and songwriter, and the Pointer Sisters, multi-award-winning girl. So yes, Houston as well too. Almost every artist, Aretha Franklin, all of them grew up in the church. And then we see the shift from being in the church to now just like, I'm going to shell out and I'm going to do my thing. So that's why I had to ask that question. I asked a lot of guests that question. They say, oh, I start off in the church. And I said, I know it can be hard. Because go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm saying, it's just, I always go back to when it comes to like my grandmother, the best thing that she could have did was, she was a missionary in church as long as, and she also was a choir director. Her only job was to tell me about God. That was it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to like my faith, I still like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for introducing me to Yahweh. Thank you for doing that. But the trauma and everything dealing with it, that person she was evil. My grandma was not a nice person at all. My mother was a nice person. Like a lot of them weren't good people. And when I had to show that, okay, yes, you could be one way, I'm like, even now, like I don't call my mother, I call her by her name. I don't call them that because you got to earn that title for me now in my life. But it takes me back to like when you were saying that, I remember I always wanted to sing up lead. She would never allow me to sing lead ever. And she would tell me that I sounded like the world. And usually when I sing, even at a young age, I would move my hips while I sung or rock or something. I'm always rocking. It's like how I find my groove. It's like a centering. I have to observe myself. I'm like, yeah, it's how I center myself. Calms the nerves. There's a line that one of my vocal instructors would tell me. She was like, everybody has butterflies, right? But when you can make those butterflies fly in formation, then you a bad motherfucker. And so that's when I center myself and do that, that's what I was learning to do. I didn't know that, but that's what I was doing. And she didn't know that. She didn't know what she was birthing. You know what I'm saying? In that, and that's okay. And anybody, just to add to this, that starts off, there, just because you start somewhere doesn't mean that you have to stay there. A lot of people try to pigeonhole you or try to incarcerate you to an idea that is not you. And you don't have to, just because they try to incarcerate you to a perception that you don't even, that's not real. You don't have to buy into that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a byproduct of someone else's idea and, of you. I wrote this song on my last project called Tailored, in which everyone thinks I'm talking about a DL guy, which in ways I am talking about someone in the DL, but I'm really referring to how they have this relationship with their toxic ass parent that stops them from that. This is the reason why they're on the DL. This is the reason why they can't love themselves fully, because they're caught in their subconscious that was created by someone else. And I just will never want that for myself or anybody else.
Shout outs to Marcos Luis, One Mic Night. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to his YouTube channel. That is a great platform.
Ooh,
and they have amazing content. And I'm going to go back for a minute because you've mentioned Maddie Moss Clark, and my girl Flo mentioned it in the comments as well, to the Clark sisters. We've seen the story how their mom was on them, in the church. That's all they perform is straight up gospel music. And now you sort of shifted and went in your own way and said, okay, I'm done with this. So it was sort of like, you guys remember the beginning of What's Love Got to Do with It, right? When the young lady, the little girl was on there singing, and she's just like, young lady, so I can imagine what you had to go through. That's traumatizing.
Yeah.
That's traumatizing to a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. I definitely I went through that a lot. It wasn't just in my younger years. It was in my teens. It was in my early 20s until I moved to New York when I was 26. So until I made that, you know what I'm saying, that leap, took that leap of faith, I couldn't really do it. No matter what I did in the city either. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy because inside of my home, and within my family, I wouldn't get any type of love or any type of respect. You know what I'm saying? No one would push me, or no one would do that because, oh, he's gay. Even before I came out, it was like, it was all this, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, I didn't even do nothing yet. I wasn't even having sex yet. And it was just still was all this craziness. But at the same time though, when I would step out, then I would get mad love from the community. You know what I'm saying? I would get like, and not just the gay community, but everybody. You know, if they weren't related to me, then it's like I got love from them. You know what I'm saying? And I got pushed in certain ways. I got encouragement. And when I mean my family, I mean my nuclear family, like so people that I actually live with. You know, but there have been other cousins and things that kind of stepped in, you know, to in place of those ones. But yeah, I that trauma is real, so real. Like
And now just now being out, coming from a young teenager, staying in the church, performing, doing what your family wants you to do, that type of music. Now shelling out and coming into your own. We're going to shift gears here and get to the fun part. Sexuality. Let's talk about it. Yes, not, things like that, but, just coming into your own sexuality and owning it. And I am absolutely here for it. I'm here for liberation because I definitely am owning my sexuality and owning my femininity, my womanhood, and all of those things bursting into my own. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because a certain period of time, we have to, discover our own sex and what makes us feel sexy. So here's the big question I wanted to ask. Do you consider yourself a sex symbol? I know the answer. I consider you as one because the way I introduced you in the beginning of the show, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people that have seen the photography and everything, like you are a gorgeous black man.
mm-hmm.
And that was my question for you. Do you consider yourself a sex symbol?
No, I don't
Really interesting.
consider myself that. Only reason why I say that is because I don't know. I guess I look at it different. Like to me, when it comes to my work that I've done with doing the different shoots and stuff, I'm a lot of the time they're catching me doing, I'm not even posing. I'm just like doing looking out the window or something, and then they're catching me, and I'm like, and then that's the shot. I'm not even doing nothing, and then it's usually it's the perception of other people, and I'm like, I don't even view myself like that, or either I wasn't trying to give that off in this photo, and it still just was. You know what I'm saying? Um, I view myself as I like a singer first. You know what I'm saying? As an artist first, and even when it comes to what we produce, to me, I look at myself as art in human form. So things that I do it's not to me, it goes beyond the picture. You know what I'm saying? My everyday, like back to what you was talking about, you don't see a person every day. Like a lot of people don't know that I have AIDS. You know what I'm saying? And I just was diagnosed with AIDS like a year ago, well, almost 2 years ago. But I've been HIV positive since I was 20. And so the work that and that's the whole story with that. Because like when everybody was worried about COVID, I was worried about something totally different. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand the work ethic that it takes to keep healthy. You know what I'm saying? So when people look at me and they're like, "Oh, you're beautiful, you're this," I'm like,
You
"Thank you."
are.
But this is work. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I really have to work hard to stay healthy. And then when I started doing personal training, well, first before personal training came, becoming a sex ed teacher or a sexual health educator, it's not just talking about intercourse and things like that. It's really
But being safe while doing it.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's being safe but it's not even about other people. A lot of people think that when it comes to talking about sexual health, and you're actually talking about the act of having sex. And yeah, we are, but it's more than that. It's more like it's talking about just being comfortable in your own skin, being comfortable with your everything about you.
Everything.
You know,
Exactly.
and that is what I've been like. If it wasn't for doing that, and if it wasn't for like, which led into doing personal training, because there's only so much that you can do. And I'm a person of service. I like to talk to people. I like to like, even with my music and everything, I want to penetrate somebody's soul with what I'm doing. So when I started to add health into the music and all that, then it was like, all right, well, this is a great way. Okay, I'm attracting you with this, but at the same time, I have a great message behind what I'm doing. And I know that it's encouraging someone and probably helping somebody, like really, really helping them. Like they really can get something out of it. And so like there's only so much I could do as a sexual health educator.
Yeah.
But with training and with music, I could penetrate the mind, body, and soul in different ways. You know what I'm saying? So that's what got me into that. Because it's all overall health, you know, for me.
Absolutely. So you're in a way like what they call it, a sapiosexual. You're attracted to intelligence
Oh,
and attracting people by your sound, letting people know that, okay, this is what you do. When we are our complete self, we attract more things. Absolutely. And Tyler mentioned something. There's a lot of people out here that are struggling with confidence and they don't see themselves as beautiful or sexy. So I had to ask because I seen the gorgeous photography and I'm just like, oh my God, he must be the most confident person. But now you explaining it and saying, no, this is real, this is me. But I still see you as a sex symbol, and I'm pretty sure the audience does as well too. So not only that, but you're educating people. There's nothing wrong with educating people and being sexy while doing it. And the reason why I do this platform is to show women mainly that, you know, you don't have to take your clothes off to be sexy. I try to do it in a way where it's classy, it's sophisticated, and it's eye-catching. And more importantly, the woman is the focus because I have a co-host, Johnny. Johnny hasn't been here with me in a minute, but he's coming back soon, ladies and gentlemen. I spoke with him. So yes, the woman is the focal point. So me, I'm the focal point of this platform because I created it and everything. So for me, it's a lot of pressure on me being a woman because I have to be gorgeous, I have to be sexy, I have to be all of these things. But I'm just like, confidence is sexy. So before New Year's, I posted a makeup-free selfie, but that's a whole different thing. We're not talking about, you know, beauty, but we're talking about owning your sexuality, being confident with who you are, and looking in that mirror and saying, hey, this is what it is. This is exactly what it is. This is real, accepting and appreciating every flaw. That's sex.
and that, okay, so that's my whole vibe. So like, when it comes to, well, my name, Thailand underscore sexy healthy vibes, that is exactly what I'm trying to that's what I'm trying to explain to people. Cause so yeah, I found confidence. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like arrogant or anything like that. And some people will be thinking that, and I'm like, nah, I'm like, you know, actually y'all helped me find confidence. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm confident in what I do, but my confidence comes from my strength, comes from my faith. And not only does it exude that, but I try to, like you said, do it in a healthy way. That's why sexy healthy is the vibe for me. And actually that's the name of my my next album. It's called Sexy Healthy Vibe. Because and you actually now you can hear the vibe. Now you can hear exactly what that is. And doing things like this, yes, I get to explain it, but now I want to move people. Like that's my whole thing is about moving people. Yeah.
Absolutely. Shout outs to Jay Evans and my brother K Tooks. Make sure you guys go on and subscribe to their channels. We did a Christmas music panel. We did three music panels together. So make sure you guys head on over and check those out. We talked a lot about.
I'm gonna add y'all because I'm about to be looking for what Mikey 1,000,000 one mic. Jay. I'm be looking for y'all.
It's a mix of everybody. Your followers is coming in. My followers is coming in when we go live together. So yes, they definitely will be following after this interview because one thing people appreciate about my platform is transparency and you being transparent and letting people know, no, I don't feel like the way y'all feel, but this is how I feel, and that's real. So on a lighter note, because we're still on a lighter note, let's talk about your single, Happy. So tell us what was it like the process recording the single and writing the single?
Oh, okay. Happy, I literally just wrote that part like about to go. I was on the call with I call her my cousin mama. I call her my cousin mama because she intercepted me. You know what I'm saying? How I look at it. Like, I've always had issues with my mother since like birth. But my cousin has always stepped in and she's kind of like been that person for me, like a mother figure and friend and all that different stuff. So we happened to be having a conversation and she was telling me something that she was going through. And like, I was trying to think of ways to console her, like, and how, I was trying to think of ways to console, like, what I would say to her if I was this person that she was talking about that, she wanted to make happy. Like, she just wanted someone to, basically, she wanted reciprocity. You know what I'm saying? That's really in any type of relationship. But I was speaking from the perspective of the man that really just wanted to, who acknowledged that they had something and wanted to be happy, not just for her, but for himself too. Like, he really wanted to acknowledge it, acknowledge what they had and build from that. And each verse kind of tells a different story around that. But when it comes to that, like, I wanted to put out something this year that just, one, that felt good. Something, a feel good type of song. So when you hear it, you just like, baby, that's that happy. I like that one, baby. I wanted something like that that made you just instantly, got into the groove. And what I studying, artists of the past and stuff, it made me want to tap into like my Al Green, my inner Al.
And I kind of see that in this single. I was about to say,
She froze.
all right, are we back, you guys? Oh no, Thailand froze. Okay, fashion dolls. I'm gonna add Thailand back. Let me know. Let me see if he's still in here, so I can add him back.
I'm here.
There we are. You're back.
I
You went
don't
out
know
for
what
me.
happened.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You was talking about your single "Happy" and the process of writing it and things like that.
Yes. So when like I said, I wrote it as a response. You know what I'm saying? To give, like, me and my cousin, shout out Stacy. Me and Stacy was just talking, and like I said, I just wanted to give her an answer. But then I started thinking about myself too, and my woes in relationships, okay? Like, my last album, Whoredom, is basically about soul ties, you know what I'm saying, in a way. And so I wanted to put out something to where I was actually projecting what I wanted. I want to be happy. I look at songs as spells in a way. So I'm like, when I'm singing this, I really mean these words. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for connection. I'm looking for love. I'm looking for things that, you know, I know that it don't really. Well, I'm not gonna say it doesn't exist in the world that we live in today. It's just a little. It might be a little hard to find, but I'm still gonna go for it. And I'm trying to get other people on that bandwagon, like, to be happy. Sometimes that means sacrifice. Sometimes that means committing to someone, making it work. Really learning each other. Like, actually, instead of this whole, like, I'm trying to get away from this whole microwave type of relationships, situationships, and all that, you know, because that's not healthy either. So.
At all. And now you're at a place, would you say you're at a place right now where you found peace, where you're at ease? Because from your story in the beginning of the interview, from now being on your own and finding clarity and finding peace, would you say you're your most happiest right now?
I am. And honestly, okay, for instance, this makes a year now that I've been in therapy. And
Mm.
because I've been in therapy, I've learned how to place healthy boundaries around myself. And the thing is that with placing healthy boundaries, I had to cut a lot of people off, you know, and that helped me manage my emotions better, helped me manage my health better. Like, I had the smoothest year. You know, 22 ended up being so smooth, especially once, like, I swear, like, after June, it was just smooth for the rest of the year. So it made me come into this new year with just feeling better about myself. So yeah, I feel well happy, but I'm ready to work. It's like, all right, now push me. I'm ready to let's get it. You know.
And now you're here, and I'm happy for you that you found peace. That's very imperative and important. And something else you said that was imperative is therapists. We in the community of people of color, we have to normalize therapy and going to seek help and speaking out. Because when it comes to mental health, some of us are still in the mindset, well, I'm just gonna sweep it up under the rug, God gonna take care of it. I'll just drink some water and it'll be okay. No, it doesn't work like that. Faith without works is
Oh,
dead.
I was just thinking that.
So if you are not, if you are not utilizing what God has put here for you, talk about it.
Yes, I like as soon I swear for God, and then Brother Joshua just said yes at the same time. As soon as you said faith is out without work is dead, that was the one thing that I was thinking. I'm like, well, you're not taking any accountability either. Because one thing that I will tell people is that okay, especially with my students when I'm teaching, and we're like for some reason, like I don't know, they open up to me like instantly. And what I tell them, I'm like, it's cool right now that you can get the help that you want and receive it, you know what I'm saying? But as you get older, if you don't start to deal with them demons, if you don't start to work through that, then sometimes you become the very thing that hurts you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is a Spider-Man quote? Um, where does it go? How does it go? With great power comes great responsibility and all that. Like you have the responsibility to take care of this. You know what I'm saying? And once you acknowledge it, at least, how about that? When you can not acknowledge that there was trauma, that there was a problem, or that this, instead of sweeping it in the work, do something about it. I tell people today, I'm like, man, you do know how I could have been intercepted a long time ago, by Satan, or, you know what I'm saying, or just negativity. I could have let a lot of different things that my family put me through just really fuck with me. I could have let it. I know I've been cussing, but can I cuss? No.
Go right on here.
I could have let it. I could, there's a lot of times that I want to beat somebody ass and I didn't. Or there's a lot of times that I wanted to do things because I didn't have the money and I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because I had this thing right here, the spirit telling me, Ty, that's not what it is. I'm glad that I, actually worked on it. And then not only that, but before I started doing therapy, I'm happy that I had people. And I'm always gonna, like Joshua, he just entered the chat. I'm like, I was gonna talk about people like him, who came into my life. They don't realize it, but there's people that, God set in my life that pushed me or encouraged me or did something in a way that if I had not had them in my life, then I probably would. This might be a different story that we talking about, or you might not be talking to me at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's work, and I know a lot of people get scared, especially the older you get. People, you get scared of getting therapy or scared of acknowledging what your health issues are. But if you want life, And me, I want life until it's like almost taken away from you. It's sad that that's when people want to actually start doing that. But, I'm glad that I've been spared, because there's been a couple of times I could have died, or I could have been like extremely ill, and, God brought me through that. But I had to do work too. You know what I'm saying? I had to seek out, do research, not me search, but research on what it is. So when it comes to when it comes to the HIV, that alone, the stigma, the trauma when it comes to that could have got me, but it didn't, because I did the research. I started applying things to myself, knowing that even with like, okay, yeah, I can take this pill, but I need to do other things.
Right.
Also, I need to work on my mind. It's work. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie and say that it's just it's work. You have to. But the thing is, once you just let it be an everyday thing, people get up their brush, hopefully, get up and they brush their teeth, they do their hair, they put on clothes, they do all that different stuff, but you don't want to work on your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. You know what I'm saying? All those different things that make you a person. Those, we're not just like, we have an energetic body, you have a physical body. You know what I'm saying? You have to keep, if you want those things to be in alignment, you have to do the work. That's just, you can't escape it. He said people are afraid of work and find themselves. Yes. People are.
I wouldn't think you are the most. When it's worth the most, you are here with us again another year.
What is that?
I couldn't thank you the most. When it's worth the most, you are here with us another year.
I'm happy about that. Like, me too. Y'all don't understand. Whew. I'm so happy. So if I'm saying I'm happy because I'm here. I'm happy that I'm strong. I'm able to do what I need to live another day, and I get to encourage other people now, to do it. Now I got, especially when it comes to kids. That's going to become a new passion of mine, is teaching youth, because I know it sounds like real cliche and stuff, but that really is the future. So it's like, you got to think about it like that. Like, the one thing that always stick with me is I had a class probably like 2 months ago now, and I asked everyone, what kind of parent do you want to be? And it was like, one girl was like, I'm team fuck them kids. And I was like, that's very telling. Did somebody say fuck you? I'm like, no, really, did somebody say that? And she was like, automatically when I said that question, she got extremely emotional. And she was like, I don't even want to talk about it. And then another student was like, well, my mom said I ain't shit, and I ain't gonna ever be shit. And I'm like, wow, like, I did, and then I'm not gonna be shit because, and she won't do anything for me, so I've been having to sell drugs so I could survive. And I'm like, well, first of all, look at that. You know how to sell something. You got skills. You know how to market. You know how to, everything there's something like, you got so much to me that I'm seeing that's so valuable, things that you learned on your own. You know what I'm saying? And then even if he sold weed, I'm like, boy, you can get, I was like, weed legal now. Like, you can create a whole business now. You know what I'm saying? From that, be a dispensary. And now you already got half of the, you already know half the things, how to get the clients and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to basically take something negative and make positive from, so we can think different. So I see how God kind of used me in a way to teach the youth who probably have been through something that I'm going, went through. Been told, hey, you ain't gonna be shit, or you ain't gonna do this. I was told that, you know what I'm saying, daily, until I just remove myself from that. But what they say, appreciation brings its presence, so you feel you're alone. Did I say that right? Yeah.
Yes, you did.
But that's true. A lot of people feel like they're alone until you start talking about it. I'm like, no, it's just, that's not what it is. You don't have to do that if you don't want to,
Marcos Louise, host of One Mic Night, is here. He says, yes, change of mindset. You definitely have to. Definitely have to change your surroundings. And it goes back to what Tylen said a few minutes ago, which was he had to change his surroundings. I asked him, do you feel you're at peace? And he said, yes, I had to cut a lot of things out. I've had to get rid of a lot of things. And that's what I kind of had to take with me into this year as well, too. Let go of a lot of things. My smile lights the world. Yes, a smile a day and just encouraging people can make them feel good. And that is one thing that I said I wanted. I created a vision board, and I said one thing I want to do for people is create joy. I want to bring people happiness. I want to make people feel happy because we've been seemed like we've been such a dark time where we've been inside the house, couldn't see our family and all of these things, and then a breath of fresh air where we could go outside and socialize with our friends and our family now because things have finally opened. That yeah.
One thing I would add, and Nastasia, I hear you. That's my brown sugar. Even if you are going through that, forgive them.
Oh yeah.
Forgive all of them. Reason why I say that, and what I'm learning every day, I've learned I have to forgive. I just say my parents' name. I say that to people. I'm like, even if it takes me every day to forgive you, I'm gonna do that because that's another way. Because a lot of times we can incarcerate ourselves to trauma because we're thinking about what this person did to us, what happened, and then you don't ever move on from it. You know what I'm saying? So forgiveness is also a part of setting up a new mindset as well. I just wanted to add that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, fashion dolls. It is 3:48. It is almost time for our second guest, another powerful conversation with over 2 million views on each video on his YouTube channel. He's an author and life coach. Kevin Brown, also known as Expressed Words, will be here coming up next at 4. So before we conclude this interview, of course, we're going to have some fun with Tylen. We're going to do our 2 games here. And the first one is called the Rapid 5. And Tylen has to tell me 5 things that he can't live without. It can be your favorite drink, your favorite food, your favorite TV show, guilty pleasure, whatever you like, or goal or passion. And then the next one is going to be called Turn the Tables. And this is where my guests get to ask me questions, as many as they want, getting to know me, the hostess. And for the new viewers out there, you kind of get to know a little bit about Miss Stevie through the questioning that my guest asks as well, too. All right? So let's get right into the rapid 5.
Okay.
What are 5 things that Tylen can't live without?
5 things I can't live without. Okay. Okay, first, Korean spas. Okay? I cannot live without a Korean spa. And I don't know if you've ever been to a Korean spa before. Like, you go in, they got all the different pools and saunas and things. It's basically heat therapy, leisure care, you know. But because I work out so much, I'm always exercising, that is like my favorite thing. I don't care what city I'm in. If I'm going somewhere, I'm about to figure out where I can find a Korean spa. This is my thing. I have to have it. I don't care wherever I go. That's one. Avocados. I have why avocados. I know this isn't in order, but God,
yes,
live without Yahweh. 4, okay, I'm not trying to like throw out brands and stuff like that, but Zamba Aroma, okay, is my favorite like store that I, buy a lot of my things that like lotions and creams and soaps and stuff like that. And they have like the best soaps to me, like everywhere. Like I literally won't buy soap nowhere else, period, because it's just I love their soap. Okay, so much. So I guess it's 4. And if anybody knows me, they know that I love TLC. Okay, so I have to, like, even since I was a kid, I don't care. They're part of my They're part of me as an
Oh,
artist, but I love TLC, so I will listen to them. I don't care. I just love them. So those are my top.
and I'm a 90s head too. So Jay Evans, K Tooks, y'all know we love us some TLC and K in Vogue, of course. Absolutely. All right, fashion dolls. Everybody saying avocados in the comments. And
I see,
you
right?
said, yes, and self-care is a must. Thank you, Joshua. That is definitely a must. So I'm glad you started off with that because God and self-care go hand in hand. Again, it goes back to
Those are
mental
my
health.
things, man. If you notice, a lot of it is like I can literally do all of that in one sitting. I can be eating an avocado at a Korean spa, listening to TLC while praying to the Lord. I can do
Perfect
all that.
combination. All right, fashion dolls. It's time for Miss Stevie to get put in the hot. So my guest Tyler here is going to ask me as many questions as he wants to. And this is turn the tables. This is where my guests get to ask me questions, as many as they want. And through that questioning, my audience, they get to know a little bit about me through the question. All right. So I'm going to pass it on down to Tyler here. He's going to ask me some questions. I don't know what he's going to ask me. My heart on the front of this dress, as y'all can see, is beating. So let's get right into it. Okay. All right.
Okay. That's straight off the hip question. Where do you find your resilience? Where does this light come from that I'm not even in front of you, and what I feel is just you have really wonderful energy. So where does that come from? How did you get there?
I've been through so much in life. I figure just smile. Don't be angry all the time. Because back then, JM has made a joke about it. He said, Miss Stevie, was you like Mary J. Blige back in the day? You was ready to fight? Yes. Yes. My temper was horrible. I'd be ready to fight anybody because I was picked on a lot. And with that being said, I had to change the way I would do things.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get suspended in school or anything like that. I wasn't a bad child, but I was just picked on a lot. And I said, you know what? I have to start speaking up for myself and speaking up for other people. And I started speaking up more. And so the radiance and the positivity and just the aura that you feel is what I've gained. And I would have to say my mom is the reason for that because she and me have the same type of spirit. She's a Libra. I'm a
Oh,
Scorpio. So the energy is on an all-time high. And I have a bubbly personality. I'm outgoing. I'm adventurous. And I want people to see that. What you see is what you get in person. So with me, I would have to say my mom is the reason for that. That's where I get it from. I get it from her. So the same characteristics that I have that you guys love, she has as well too. And I would say this, she raised a strong woman because I've overcome so much to be where I'm at right now. And I'm thankful. It could have took me out of here, but I'm thankful for it.
that's wonderful. I think that is so cool. I was something that I was thinking was like your birthdays must be really close.
Hers is the 7th and mine's is the 31st. So that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Hers is on the 7th and mine's is on the 31st. And I'm a Halloween baby. And next month, what's even more crazy is my brother's a Valentine's Day baby.
Ah,
So his birthday is on the 28th. Mine's is on the 31st. Halloween and Valentine's Day. And then the sick part about it is the crazy part is somebody's walking around literally with my face. So I would say we're literally almost twins. If you take away the lashes and everything, yeah, I have a twin walking around here somewhere. Yes, my brother looks just like me, and I
wow.
look just like my mom. Yeah.
So I'm gathering that you have a close relationship with your family. That's how.
Yes,
What does
yes,
that
we do.
feel like? I've never felt that before. So what does that feel like?
It feels great to have unconditional family support and just love behind you. And just your team, like Jay Evans, Marcos, K Tubes, the fashion dolls, they're a part of the team as well too, because they keep me going. That back to the question of what you first asked me, that vibrancy, the dolls is what keeps me going. My supporters, 100%. I'll call them fans. They're not my fans. They don't owe me anything. Just them coming and supporting the platform, watching the platform every day is what brings me joy and what makes them happy. So If I can be of service to someone and bring them joy and make them smile, I know I've done my job at the end of the day, and that's all I ask. So yeah.
Okay, one question then. How does it feel? Because I'm a person of service too. It's just an automatic thing. I don't know. But how does that feel to be that? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people would think, I'm not serving nobody. I'm also, do you know, it's
Right.
more strength to serve than it does anything else. You know, so how do you feel about being a person of service?
A person of service, I feel good actually. I feel good knowing that I made someone happy. Shout outs to my girl Simone Jones. She said this is the most amazing person ever. We had our first interview and then I brought it back with the girl talk that I do here on this platform, the Girl Let's Talk special here on Style. And when she tagged me in her story, she said, "This is the most amazing person I've ever met." I said, "Oh, thank you." And I want people to see that. I want people to feel good. So if I can be of service to someone, that makes me happy. That makes me smile. I know I've done my job at the end of the day.
That's beautiful. That's well, see, this is kindred spirits because that's how I feel too. I love it. I just do.
Yes. All right, fashion dolls. It is 4 p.m. It is time for our next guest. So without further ado, I'm going to let Tylen close out the interview with his final word. And before we go, let everyone know something because we talked a lot about mental health, growing up in the LGBTQ community from both aspects, Black, Christian, all of that. Uh, yes, we'll get to one question and then we got to go to the next segment, Liz. She wants to know, why do you need you? That's a great question.
That is,
But the final part, yeah.
why do I need me? Because I love me. Like, I love me so hard. I had to learn that before anybody else. I love me. I love everything about me. So it's important to see the things that I visualized as a child come into fruition. And that's through love of myself, you know what I'm saying? So that's the one thing. And if I wanted to end my portion of the interview is just saying like that's what everything Thailand, the sexy healthy vibe is loving thyself. Because if you can't love yourself, you can't love nobody else.
All right, fashion dolls, it is 4 p.m. But before we go, make sure you guys go and stream Thailand's hit single Happy on all platforms
Please.
out right now. Definitely go and check it out. It is about, I love it, is full of, how can I say it? It's full of everything. So make sure you guys go and check it out. Check out all of his projects and so much more. Be sure to hit that follow button and follow him. Coming up next, let me introduce him before we bring him on. With over 2 million plus views on YouTube, he is a New York bestselling author. Johnny Depp has his book as well too. Poetry is Me. Joining me coming up next, Fashion Dolls, we have life coach Kevin Brown. You know him as Expressed Words on YouTube. So be prepared to ask your questions coming up next, Fashion Dolls. Go refresh them and come back. Take care, everyone, and thank you, Thailand.
Bye.
We definitely have to do this again. Take care, everyone.
Bye.